Hey everyone, today I'll be showing you how I made this matching set of side tables. So I have a few lengths of Merbau here. I'm just ripping them down to my desired dimensions, which is 45mm by 45mm. With this job, I wanted to use through mortise and tenons for the frame. To do this, I attached each piece to my tenon cutting jig to first do the tenons and then the mortises. To trim the waste, I used the table saw again for the tenons and the bandsaw for the through mortises. In order to keep the frame rigid at the base, I wanted to join an additional piece in the middle. For the glue up stages, I needed to make 4 of these individual frames. I used these pine jigs to keep everything square through the drying process. This is the base component of the frame being glued up now. I also used another jig for holding the top square and parallel while this glue dries. Onto the tabletops. I use a slab of black butt with a nice looking Merbau insert. You'll see the Merbau insert in a second. As far as the glue up goes, I decided on some 50 by 8mm dominoes to hold each length in place. To fill in the gaps and cracks of the slab, I mixed up a batch of gold pigment and epoxy and poured it in using a bead of silicone to contain the runoff. Once the glue has cured, I take the tabletop over to my milling jig to get everything straight and parallel before proceeding. I'm now just sanding off the router marks left by the milling jig before cutting the tops into their correct dimensions, which is 490 by 520mm. I also use a 6mm roundover bit to neaten up all the edges. Now it's just down to sanding and attaching the frame to the tabletop, and they're ready for a coat of varnish. When it came to attaching the frame to the tabletop, I decided to use batten screws and a plug bit to cover up the holes after fixing. I went with a 20mm Forstner and plug set, as the batten screw seemed to be a bit too tight for a 15mm plug set. Then it's time for the finish coat. Just 3 coats of clear weatherproof varnish and a bit of linseed oil seemed to be a good choice for this job. And there you go, a pair of side tables. If you would like some more information or some free plans for this build, be sure to check out the links in the description, as well as a link to my Instagram for upcoming content. Thanks for watching. Cheers.